So, welcome to the Magdalene Global Collective. This is a living temple that unites hearts, lineages, and soul missions into one unified field. Through the teachings of Mary Magdalene, it supports initiates, leaders, and seekers in embodying divine feminine and divine masculine, sacred union, consciousness anchoring compassion, sovereignty, sacred service, and embodied love into the earth through prayer, teaching, transmission, and community. It is a sanctuary for divine remembrance and it grounds heaven into earth and fosters the luminous frequencies that are guiding humanity's awakening. I am joined by a beautiful guest. I'm just so honored and so excited and so happy to have you on, Georgie Dean. And she is a channel for the angels and the seraphim and a beautiful singer. Oh my God, to hear the angelic harmonies from her voice, like she really brings through the voice of the feminine. And I'm just so honored to have you here today. So welcome, Georgie.
Thank
And
you.
I'd love for you to share your story.
Oh, wow. Gosh. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm feeling really honoured and it's so lovely to touch base with you. Wow. Where do I start? Where do I start? I, I started off as a child very sensitive. I was aware of a lot of things. I was aware of people's energies, I guess, now looking back at it. So I was always what you'd call a super sensitive child. My parents thought I was a bit of a drama queen. But I wasn't. I was just me. I was just being me. And I've had my background before I sort of got into like the spiritual side of things was in music and dancing and singing and acting. So I was blessed to go to theatre school
Wow.
and very lucky that my council gave me a grant to go. And I think the first time I realised I was sort of like
Mm.
in touch with something else other than what we can see physically as an adult anyway was when I was pregnant with my son Freddie. And that really, I think being pregnant opened something up for me again because I think I closed everything down when I was about 5 when I went to school
Mm.
to fit in. I think I've realised now I've spent a lot of my life masking, trying to fit in because it's quite hard if you're with someone and you're aware that there's an angel on their shoulder or there's a loved one with them and you're like you want to say something but you feel like you can't. So yeah. So my background as a singer and a dancer I think's really helped me with where I am now. So I've been on a huge journey. And we met when I was over in Ireland doing Angelic Harmony Therapy, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. It was just amazing.
It's
It was
it's
beautiful. And yeah.
I was going to say it's really hard to know where to start, but I think maybe I should start from where it all fell apart. So basically, I was living on autopilot. I'd had a bit of a meltdown, but I'd also sort of been psychically attacked. I'd been
Mm.
working with a lady who was my mentor. And at the time, I was still running my dancing school. So I had a grounded job, but I'd been doing Reiki and, I was aware of the angels, blah, blah, blah. But basically, I'd had, I'd allowed someone to tamper with my energy and I lost all contact with my guides and angels. And more importantly, I lost my singing voice. I literally, in the baby ballet class, I literally couldn't sing the Paint a Rainbow song. There was like,
Oh.
I could speak, but my
Mm.
singing voice just disappeared. And and it felt like a bit of my soul had disappeared. So then, somehow magically, my mum's quite tuned in. She sent me a book, and I read this book, and it was to do with a medium whose name I won't mention. I ended up going to her circle, didn't really connect with her, but one of the ladies there sent me to another lady over in North London, and that's where the magic began. That's where I started reclaiming that bit of me that was lost. So in a trance session, I went the first week, and I just remember thinking, oh, this is really lovely. I'm so grateful, angels. Thank you for sending me here. And the following week, I remember we all went into like an altered state, and the leader of the circle, everyone put their attention towards me because I had an angel with me, or so they said. And the angel spoke and gave the name Love. And she said that she'd come to help me heal my voice, find my voice again, and to help me go on and work with other people to find their voice, their life's purpose, and that I would be singing with the angels. So that was like, whoa. And that sort of slowly over time, because you don't go from 0 to 100, because I don't think we'd be able to cope. So basically, in over the sort of next 6 years, I started singing again. I started singing with the angels. Fast forward, and I'm singing with the angels for people. And I met this girl called Magdalene over in Canada whilst I was visiting a friend. And basically, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. The angels have sent you to me. I've been praying to Source to send me someone who can help me sing with the angels and do healing. That's what you're doing. Can you help me? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I just do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do it. I just, I haven't got great boundaries when it comes to people. And I think that's
Do
why the
any
angels are just like,
archangels?
zoom, and like, so anyway, she basically helped me put Angelic Harmony Therapy not together, because the angels did that, but she formatted it all for me. She made the logo, she helped me with the certificate, all the stuff. I didn't even know what Canva was back then, and she really helped me. She got my social media, she created pages and Instagram and YouTube, and she's still much part of my life now. She's a true earth angel. And so that was the birth of Angelic Harmony Therapy. And I've been, teaching people how to sing with the angels. I have to say, you don't have to sing. If you don't want to sing with them, you can hum with them, you can tone with them, you can work with the colours, you can use bowls. There's different ways around it, because not everybody wants to use their voice. So that was just such a blessing, and that's how we met, didn't we?
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Such a gift to the world.
And
Yeah.
and I remember being in Ireland, and I don't know if you remember this, but on the training day, a lady turned up at the hotel who wanted to speak to me because she'd heard me singing my Marry Me song on the radio. And she wanted to come and meet me and tell me that I was blessed, because obviously I'd also had interventions with Mother Mary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so before my meltdown, before my psychic attack, Mother Mary came to me, and I have to alliterate here, like, I grew up, I was christened, but I didn't know who Mother Mary was really. Like, I knew she was, mother of Jesus, but in my culture, she comes out at Christmas and that's it. I
Yeah.
didn't know what a
Yeah.
Hail Mary was, or the Rosary or anything. So when my friend said to me, "You're going to write a song called Marry Me," and it's about healing the inner child and it's working with Mother Mary, I'm like, well, why would she work with me? I work with angels. And my friend said, well, she's the queen of the angels. And I said, yeah, but like, who am I? I'm a nobody.
Should they look for the pure of heart? That's the thing. Yeah.
So the first song, because Angelic Harmony Therapy, they're not songs, they're tones. We call in the names. That's very sort of, very different thing. But this Mother Mary song was the first song I ever wrote. And I think my future self wrote that song.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's just incredible. It's beautiful.
Because
The
it was,
gentleness and the sweetness that comes through, it just holds you. It's like just someone singing a lullaby to you. I found your work like it just reaches the inner child
yeah.
and you feel safe.
Mm.
And like that, the frequencies, like it's so much needed on this earth at this time as well. Like it's amazing. That's why I wanted to speak with you as well. But like you also went on the divine feminine journey. And I know that you were very much called by Mother Mary as well. You were called to visit her, weren't you?
I
If you want to
visited
speak
her.
about that as well.
Yeah, I visited her all over the place. And, you know, I've been to, I guess you'd call them Catholic
Yeah.
pilgrimages. And
Pilgrimages. Mm.
and I was drawn to these places. So I went to Lourdes, which was amazing. And had the bath. And that was like, wow, this is like miraculous. And then I went to Fatima, and that was just magical. But then I was called to Medjugorje,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's where I was like, whoa. And I think I've been there after I met you. I met
Mm.
you
And there's a
before.
lot of like there is purging with that journey as well. Like
Yeah.
it's very much the pilgrimage as well, isn't it?
Yes.
The shattering of illusion.
Exactly. Well, the really
Mm.
weird thing was, um, people would hear me singing and they would say that I had the Holy Spirit in my voice and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But when they found out that I wasn't one of them and that I was a bit more spiritual, I was shunned. And I felt really, really lonely. And there was a lovely Italian, I remember a lovely Italian guy, and I spoke to him, and he was a musician, and we were on the same sort of little music group. And he said, but Jesus loves you, it doesn't matter. And he was lovely. And so basically I prayed to Mother Mary, and I prayed to Father Slavkov, who was the priest that basically said to the Pope, these children are the real deal. They really have seen Mother
Yeah.
Mary. So for
Yeah.
anyone listening, Medjugorje is a place where Mother Mary appeared to 5 children.
Yeah.
And like 40 years later, she still appears once a month, I believe. Anyway, so I prayed to her, and I prayed to this Father Slavkov at his grave, and I said, show me that I'm okay the way I am, and that I've got your blessing to keep doing what I'm doing, which is, honouring the divine,
Yeah.
yet doing it my way. And a few days later, it was the day that Mother Mary was going to appear to one of the visionaries. And I got a lift down from the Airbnb people, and there was an older lady thumbing a lift. So he stops, she gets in, and they're chatting away in Croatian. And he says, she'll look after you, just stay with her. She ended up taking me into the secluded area where Mother Mary appears and where the visionary sits. And they have about 5 musicians, singers, And that's it. No one else is allowed in. I was taken in. I was taken into that special place. And I'm sitting with the singers, and I'm singing all the like Hail Marys and all of those beautiful songs. I think they were singing in Croatian, and I just sang along in English, or I sang along. If I didn't know the words, I was oohing and ahhing. And I remember like my face was streaming, and I looked and I saw the visionary, her face was streaming as well, and she could see Mother Mary. I couldn't see Mother Mary, but
Mm,
my God, did I feel her. I
mm.
felt her like this was my second experience with Mary, but this was so powerful, and I just
Yeah,
thought, yeah, why? I'm absolutely fine the way I am. You know, this was a test. This was a test for me to stay
yeah.
true to my power and my belief, and keep singing. So basically, this is the biggie, right? As we left, the lady who, Maria, I believe her name was, who took me into this special place, she gave me one of the flowers, one of the roses that had been gifted to the Mother Mary statue, and she gave me a hug. And then when I got back to the Airbnb, he said to me, "Do you know who that lady was?" And I said, "No, but she took me to the special place and I felt Mother Mary, and oh my God, it was so amazing." And he said, "That was Father Slavkov's sister,
Oh
the
my God.
priest, the
What
priest."
you had asked for.
So from that moment on, I knew my work had been done there. And I knew that there's no point trying to convince people who are scared of you. You just have to let them get on and do what they want to do. Or people that are jealous of you or whatever, you just have to say, "Okay, fine, thank you." Not that I ever preached to them or anything. It was just that once they knew my name, and they wanted to get my music, once they did a bit of research, it was because I didn't fit into the little box. So yeah, so then I came back, and of course then we had lockdown, and everything went pear-shaped. Basically, I couldn't go and sing. I couldn't go and teach Angelic Harmony Therapy. But just before all that happened, I'd been drawn to this word, Pellowa, Pellowar.
Mm.
And I kept seeing it on Facebook. And then I thought, do you know what? I think I'm going to do the training for this. And I remember signing up for the training to become a practitioner because it was advertised that it was a radical shift for your consciousness, but you didn't have to become a practitioner. Well, you became a practitioner first, then the next day was about your consciousness. And I thought, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this to be a practitioner because I just do angelic harmony therapy. I sing with the angels. That's what I do. I make beautiful music with Marcus. So basically, I did the training, and then a week or so later, I thought, I don't know. This is pretty amazing. Then we went into lockdown a week later, and I was doing lots of swaps with other practitioners. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to offer this out because I think everyone needs something. There's a lot of fear around, what's going on right now. Because at the time we weren't allowed to see our loved ones. We were all in these special bubbles. You couldn't travel. And that was very special. And I later went on to become a teacher of Pellowa. And then I went on and did Umana, which is also a very powerful modality. And the lady that channeled that, she's the same lady, Kachina Mayan. She channeled Pellowa about 20 odd years ago. She channeled Umana about 2 years ago, and it was, oh my God, I feel so drawn. Once I heard about it, and she gifted me a session, and it really got me out of a deep funk that I was in with my dad, who's got dementia. and it shifted something, and it was like, I have to do this training, but I have to change the way I feel about my dad and the dementia and how he is. So I went to Australia and did the training, brought it back to the UK. I've taught a fair few people, and since doing the training, it's like I need to go back to my roots. I'm not saying I'm still doing all of the honouring Mother Mary and the angels and Mary Magdalene and all the many other ascended masters, but I need to sing again. I need to sing, for want of a better word, normal songs. Well, they're not necessarily normal, they're jazz standards. I love a jazz standard. I love Cole Porter, Gershwin, some of the newer stuff like Bacharach. And I thought, I want to do this again as well. This is, this is important because
And it's so soulful as well because you're not just up in the air, you're in the embodiment as well. It's bringing you
exactly,
back to the ground, you know? Yeah, back to the
exactly.
earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bringing the angels
Mm.
through without necessarily people that aren't into this sort of thing. They're not going to want to listen to seraphim music, the stuff that I've taught
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to listen to jazz, to be fair, but I had this real strong urge to create a show around Peggy Lee, and I found
Okay.
this song that was rediscovered. She recorded it in the 40s, and it's called Speaking of Angels. And I had this moment, and it all came flooding to me that
Yeah.
that I was to record some Peggy songs and some other songs and create music in the angel frequency. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about frequency, and most people that do sound baths and play
Yeah.
bowls and stuff,
Yeah.
they talk about 432, and they say it's the earth frequency, and that's what we should be
That's the
listening to.
heart. Mm.
However, this is where it might get a little bit complicated. So, there's another miracle frequency called 528. Now, 528 is connected to the note of C, but to get a normal song at that level, most music in the Western world is at 440 hertz. I got the inspiration by the angels to create my jazz recordings in 444 frequency. Now, when you look at 444, it means that the A note will be vibrating at 444, but the C note will be vibrating at 528, the miracle frequency.
Wow.
So, because if you put music into the 428, the one that's to do with the earth, it sounds dreadful. It does not work. It alters it too much. But if you take it up to 444, it sweetens it a little bit. It gives it the angel vibration, and it gives you, especially if you're singing or playing notes in that key or in a key that's got that note C in it, they're getting 528, 528, 528 frequency coming through. So, so basically, I'm just back from France, having recorded 9 songs, all in the angel frequency. Um, one of them is called "Speaking of Angels," and but when we were there, a couple of the songs, the guy that was doing the recording, he was like, "I don't know if I can play this one, Georgie. That the chords are so weird." Okay, and then I saw. It was like the angels took my attention to this poster, and it was of Freddie Mercury. And I said, "Do you like Freddie Mercury?" And he said, "Yeah, I do." I said, I don't suppose you know Love of My Life, do you? And he said, yeah, it's my favourite song. And I said, well, it's my favourite song too. I wonder if we could do that. So he said, yeah, okay. So he got the chords together. We worked out my key, and I was jazzing it a bit too much. So I was sort of singing Love of My Life. And he's like, no, you've got to do it iconic like Freddie. It's got to be Love of My Life. And I'm like, okay, okay. I'm like, Freddie, can you help me? And literally, whoosh, I had Freddie Mercury in the recording booth with me.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know if you can see the hairs on my arms, but
Mm.
I'm tingling now just talking about him because
Yeah, I've the same. I've cold in one side.
he
Yeah,
was a very
incredible.
spiritual man and he had a very spiritual
Yeah,
upbringing and he was a bit of a tortured soul, but his music,
yeah.
his lyrics
He
are
brought people
amazing.
together, like the change in the world, what they brought forward. It's
Yes.
definitely, oh, it's God given. That it's
I
gift. It's
mean,
such a gift.
he made Live
Such a
Aid.
gift. Yeah.
If it
Oh
wasn't for
yeah.
him, Live Aid just wouldn't have been the
Oh
same.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
and also I don't know if you know the Order of the Magi book
I've
by
heard of it now. I haven't read it, but I know a lot of
Diane
the
Pegler.
information.
Diane, yeah,
Yeah.
Diane Pegler's the author, and
Yeah.
she feels that that Freddie Mercury had a connection to Balthazar or was Balthazar
Oh
in a
wow.
past life, and
Yeah.
Balthazar he was one of the wise men that sang,
Yeah.
and
Wow. The
so
magician. Wow.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
It's incredible.
it's just so to me it feels like it's all sort of coming together, you
Yeah,
know?
so it's not that you even went away from what you had planned or what you were doing.
No,
It just enhanced. It was
enhanced.
you're still
Yeah.
spiritually led.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the weird thing was, you know, as I'm putting this show together,
Yeah.
it was like I don't just want to be talking about, you know, the boring, not the boring side, but the Peggy Lee. She recorded it then, and she recorded it with, and I
Yeah.
wanted to have a different angle on it. And one of the angles, oh, it sounds weird saying that, but one of the things she used to say was angels on your pillow. So I've been doing quite a lot of research into Peggy Lee. Maybe she'll come to you today while we're talking, but I did quite a bit of research, watching loads of old videos,
Yeah.
and watched a film where her daughter spoke about her mum always saying angels on your pillow, and then she said it to her grandchildren and great
Mm.
grandchildren. And in one of her recordings, Here's to You, it's a blessing song, and she's sort of saying blessings in loads of different languages, and at the end she goes, and angels on your pillow. And it's like, this is a side of Peggy Lee that people aren't aware of. And also she talks about consciousness, and this was quite a while back, this one. I mean, it might
Yeah.
have been in the
Yeah.
80s. So she was talking about consciousness and basically saying we're all one, we're all connected. And I was like, wow, this is a really spiritual lady. A really, you know, and people just think of her as being this diva. You know, they based
Yeah.
Miss Piggy on Peggy Lee. Initially, Miss
Oh,
Piggy was called Miss Piggy Lee, but later they dropped the Lee.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
she was so much more than a singer songwriter. So
What
she,
inspiration.
what an inspiration! Yeah, what an inspiration. So I know that what I've recorded
Mm.
to the Muggles, I won't necessarily say too much about the 4/4 frequency, but to those who understand it, I will. And it's exciting. I've got my first Peggy show, speaking of angels, on the 23rd of May. Just doing it locally, and then I'm just going to hand it over to the angels because I I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
I had my son's dog, and I was walking her, and I was in my head thinking, "Oh, who's going to come and see me?" Same as the Mother Mary song. I'm a nobody. They want names. They've been on X Factor. Who's going to come and listen to a Peggy Lee show that I'm in? What's the point? And then Nellie stopped. She wouldn't go any further. She turned round and insisted we go back the other way. We bumped into another lady with her dog. They're sniffing each other, the two dogs. And I said, "Oh, your dog's lovely. What's her name?" She said, "Peggy." And I said, "Oh, so why did you call her Peggy?" And she said, "After Peggy Lee. I love Peggy Lee."
yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
then I told her about my idea, and she was like, "Oh my God, you've got to do that. You've got to do that." So the way I look at it is, it's a bit like, even if it doesn't go
Yeah.
anywhere major and it only stays in a few little places, but if that helps one person in
Yeah,
some
it's
way.
it's not about that. Like it's
Mm,
the bringing up the collective. It's the frequency,
exactly.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So every time I'm singing in that frequency, I'm
Wow.
raising the
Exactly.
collective. And
Yeah.
I mean, even so, I practice. Because I'm not great on the piano. I can sort of work out a chord, and I'm like, okay, I need to take that up a semi or a tone, and I can do that. But I can't accompany myself. But I've got an app called iReal Pro, and even that, I've changed the frequency to 444.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's for me,
Yeah.
it's all about the 444 frequency. It's so important, because I just feel that that's, even if I'm just singing in my home, I'm still like a little frog on a lily pad, singing in a higher frequency. And that, where that energy goes, I don't know, and I just have to trust that it's doing what it's meant to do.
And it's funny as well because even myself, the way you'd gaze at the time, and it happens to me quite frequently. But for quite a while, I was landed on the 444, even 344, all the four fours.
Yeah,
So it's about the alignment, always about the alignment. No, it's just amazing what you do. I was going to ask as well, I was guided. Like you have a song as well. It's such a beautiful song. It's Our Lady of the Rose.
oh
And
yes.
isn't that Mary Magdalene as well?
That's Mary Magdalene. But can I just,
Beautiful.
before I tell you
Yeah,
about that, I've got a few more 444 things to tell you about.
of course.
So we got confirmation, me and my son. We went, I won't go into the stories, but basically we saw a waitress with a necklace with 444 on. And when I'd finished my recording, my son saw a car plate with 444 on. So I feel like it's the universe. Yes, keep going. Yes, keep going. So Mary
How often
Magdalene,
do you see it? How often?
exactly.
It's not typical.
I've never seen anyone else with a 444 necklace.
Maybe 222, but
So
yeah.
I didn't even know they existed. So anyway, the Mary Magdalene Lady of the Rose. This is so funny because I remember teaching in Denmark, and I was doing a little concert of the songs that me and Marcus have recorded. And I sang Lady of the Rose in the first half of the concert. And then had the interval, and she's like with me, and she said, "You need to sing that again." And I'm like, "But I've sung it once." She said, "You need to sing it again. It's really important that this gets grounded." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll tell everyone." And luckily, they were all sort of mediums or people that were aware of that sort of thing, and they were absolutely fine. And I sang it again, and
Yeah, it's beautiful. Have you a little offering for the listeners today? Is there anything you'd
absolutely,
like to share, whether it's a little song or a
yeah,
little um a little meditation, or
yeah.
what would you like to?
How long have I got?
As long as you feel guided now.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's just take a moment. And if you are driving by any chance, please make sure you save this bit for when you're not. So
Absolutely.
just so just join me now and close your eyes. Feel yourself where you're sitting or where you're lying. Feel the support of Mother Earth and know that you are held by Mother Earth. And then from your heart, I want you to send up your love and light to a distant, distant star, beyond the beyond, yet within the within. Sense, feel or know your love, your light going up, out through the crown of your head, higher and higher and higher. And breathe in and out into your heart center. And as you sense that distant star, know that that distant star is your starlight. It is your starlight. It is that which lights your way forward. It is that which gives you your personal light. It is the divine aspect of you, the angelic aspect of you, that which is within you and around you, within the within and beyond the beyond. I invite you now to allow that light to flood down now through your higher chakras, down into your crown. And I invite you to allow that light to keep going down and out into your auric field whilst I gently tone. Maybe if any light language comes through, I'll be speaking the language of the angels, the seraphim. Ayawa Shayaria, Ayawa Shayaria, Ayashaya Ata, Aya Natash, Ia Narashia Naratisi Ia, Uia Narashaa, Uia Ia, Uia, Ia, You are in perfect harmony. You are grounded. You are balanced. You are protected by source light. And from this space of non-attachment, you are invited to make a wish upon a star, a wish upon your own star. And if you wish to voice it out loud, you can. Or you can say it from your heart, within your heart. A personal wish for you. Now I invite you to say a wish for the higher good of the collective, Mother Earth. Now I finish by saying a benevolent prayer, and if you join me in the prayer, this prayer will be for everyone who listens. So whether you listen to it in years to come, the energy will still be here. That everyone's prayer, everyone's wish, may all the beings of light, all the benevolent angels, all the ascended masters conspire together and allow our wishes and prayers to be granted under grace and in perfect ways. And so it is. And when you're ready, and there's no rush, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, have a smile, have a yawn, and
Beautiful.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's gorgeous. Just a lovely realignment. Yeah,
Mm.
it's so strong, but yet so gentle as well. It's
Mm.
just beautiful. You could feel all the angels coming in as well. It's so
Yes.
beautiful, Georgie.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
just a beautiful gift, you know? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. It's like the angels saying to you, like we extend our hearts, we extend our hands, to many, and we will aid you on your path. And I do feel there's a masculine there with you, male, that's helping to open the doors as well. And he's just saying, like, our love continues to grow.
Ah,
Um, and he has come to such a higher understanding as well of he's evolved.
oh
So it's
really?
it's it's a different love, like it's a different love that's there. But he just says as well like, that you may feel my hands that are placed upon your shoulders from time to time, and just to knowing that I am with you, you
Oh, so
know.
that's a. Did you say that's a loved one?
A
That's
loved one, yeah. I felt it was
ah.
Stuart.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Yeah, I just got some tingles, and that's really interesting. My boys will be
yeah.
most pleased.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, and there's another one just from the angels. The angels were just sending that message that if you could only see yourself the way that we see you, and it's
Mm,
like to look upon yourself with those eyes of love. You know,
yeah.
there's no looking outside for approval. It's look inwards, look
Mm,
inwards and look upwards.
yes,
You know.
absolutely.
That's it. But you're
Absolutely.
igniting the flame. And they say, like, in your energy, you carry the flame, and the
Ah,
flame ignites the hearts. It ignites the hearts of many. So you really are bringing people together.
oh.
And just by being in your presence, they are being healed. They are being blessed. And just thank you for sharing that, because you're sharing the light with the world as well, Georgie. You're sharing the light with the world.
Well, as
So
you are, and there's so many of us doing it now. There's so many of us who are wanting what we want, which is peace, love, and harmony.
peace, love, and harmony. Yeah, exactly. Like even to look upon the world And like I noticed myself, when you said that, you were like, what intention would or wish would you have for the world? It's peace, isn't
So,
it? It's
yeah.
unity. It's yeah, no division. But like that, it's not one person that can bring all of this to earth. It's like many are needed. Many are needed. And like even if there was one person in every family,
Mm,
that's needed, you know,
yeah. Well,
just to
I'm amazed, to be honest with you. I know my son won't mind me sharing this, but I've had one son that's always been really aware of the angels and
mm,
aware of spirit, and he's heard spirit from a young age. But my
yeah,
other son, who's always been very mathematical and very problem solving, he's
yeah,
now aware. And I'm thinking, if that son's woken up, there's lots of people waking up
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for every light that shines bright, and every
For
light that
every light.
awake, like I think it's 1044 darker energies, it dissipates.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the light.
absolutely. No light is too small.
Mm,
That's the thing. No light is too dim. Just shine your light.
yeah.
And like you said at the start, like it's your inner angel. If you could talk
Oh,
about that too,
yes.
Georgie,
Yeah, absolutely. Because I
the
sort of like
inner angel.
there's so much. There was so much to sort of I wanted to share, but so I talked about love, and I
Mm,
said that love was spoke through me and helped me to find my voice again, and helped me to sort of bring Angelic Harmony Therapy to the front, whilst looking after my friend's daughter. I was babysitting her for the day. She was about 11 or 12, and her mum wanted me to teach her a little bit of Reiki, a little bit of healing. So I taught her the Mary Me song, the chorus, and then I taught her some hands on healing. And then we swapped, and she gave me some healing. And while she was giving me this healing, she said, the angel is within you. You are the angel. The angel is in you. And then it just clicked. Oh my goodness. Love is not an external angel. She's an internal light. And that's, on my website, my line, my tagline, but it's not a tagline, it's truth. Awaken
mm,
the angel within you, because we all have one, and we can
yeah.
choose to focus on the angel within us, or we can choose to focus on the gremlin or the id, or whatever you want to call it, that
Mm,
small voice that gives us the doubts, the
mm.
voice in me that was saying,
The
oh,
ego.
who
Mm,
want the ego, who wants to listen to you when there's all those other amazing singers. So I'm not saying that my angel, she's awake, but sometimes my mind will take over, the ego will take over and
mm.
keep me stuck.
And it's usually like for everyone listening as well, it's usually the time when you're tired or you
Yeah,
like that, or you may be not feeling very well. You could be
yeah,
not well in yourself, or, then the doubt creeps in.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But also, we're meant to have those synchronicities,
Mm,
because that makes those synchronicities even more powerful. And it
yeah.
shows, especially with Doggy, she was the
Amazing.
one, someone was tapping Nelly and saying, turn round, because she would just keep walking in the same direction unless I asked her to go somewhere else. So it's so beautiful. And I just feel that, well, I didn't talk about Heavenly Harmony, but basically, I was gifted a new sort of modality called Heavenly Harmony, which
Yeah.
is about awakening the angel within you. And who knows, maybe I'll come to Ireland someday and teach it. Although it is an online course, but yeah, you never know. You never know.
Never know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Georgie. And
you're so
thank you for your
welcome.
presence and your love and your light today. And
Oh,
it's much, much needed.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.